Oh, hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is having a good Monday. Hope everyone's weekend was good. If I can get started on this. Everyone is doing good and their weekend was good. And they are enjoying the start of this week. In case it wasn't clear, I think I'm hunting for Squirtle. Hello, Oak. Ooh, a professor. Who could have seen that one coming, eh? Alright, here we go. Boy. Now, do we do this? I'm going to do this not in capital. I always feel like we don't need to be... Yes. New name. No, lower. There we go. It fits perfectly. Yes. Imagine forgetting your own grandson's name. Couldn't be me. Could not be me. Right. First thing I'm going to do is I want to test this. Ow, it is literally press all the buttons at once. That makes that so much easier. So now I just got to know to be extra careful when pressing any buttons, because I don't want to accidentally press them all. That could indeed be very, very bad. So used to having the running shoes. How can I? Oh, let's use that. That's nice. That is very, very nice. Oh, I'm too eager. It is nice to have the old music back. Well, Pokemon live in the tall grass. You need your own Pokemon. Okay. Okay, Professor. Professor Boring. Right. So I think it goes Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander, right? Yeah, Bulbasaur. No. Squirtle, yes. Right. We do this. And now we do this. Oh, actually, is it worth... It probably is, isn't it? Let's do this first one. Then I think we'll change the text speed. Because that's just the smart way to do it, I think. There we go. Here. Not shiny. We do that. Works. That. And then it resets. Wonderful. Right, let's check the text speed and see if there's any way to increase that. I think there should be. Text speed. Fast. I mean, there's nothing else I think that needs to change. Right. Yes. No. No nickname. We don't need any nicknames. Ooh, is it worth me... I don't know, does it always do that? Or a female one? Is it worth me changing? Does it auto default to the beginning? Yeah, it might do because I don't have any Pokemon when I go into it for the second time. Okay, maybe it's not worth doing it. I've got no clue, Chromatic. I've got zero clue. I'm just gonna see what I get when I'm playing. Oh, no, it does go to that. I know a lot of people at the minute are using, well, from what I've seen on, is a lot of people have been going with, like Dratinis and that, Dragonites. Again, you know, just kind of going for those higher tier Pokemon. For me, I haven't put a huge amount of thought into it. Because I'll be honest, I still don't quite know how I want to play through the game. Whether or not I want to try and just take random shinies, whether or not I want to just hunt specifically, I don't know. I know a lot of people that have been playing Red have also gone for Arcanine as well, because again, it is such a good mon to take. Granted, I'm pretty sure the people who are taking I'll get there. Taking Arcanine haven't gone for Charizard, because there's no point to take Arcanine if you've already got Charizard. Ivysaur, Graveler, Nidoking, Arcanine, Vaporeon. Well, it's not bad. Oh, I haven't thought about the HM Mule yet. I haven't thought about that yet. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. And I think I don't know, is the easiest one? Any better is there any specific HM Mule that would be good? Hard to say. Hey Greg, well, how are you doing? I hope your weekend was good. I'm not getting female ones anymore. I pressed all the buttons. Bird with a stick. Far-fetched. Not a bad one. Definitely not a bad one. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking... My brain went immediately to, like, rock climb. But I think that's a later... That's a later one. I really need to just reacquaint myself with the Mon list. And just try and see what ones I'm gonna... What Mon I'm gonna use. And I still don't know if I'm going to specifically hunt for other Mons. I like the idea of doing this game shiny only, but I also know it's going to take me ages to do. Although I also don't know if I want to do... I don't know if I want to do it fully on stream or if I'm going to do some off stream, some on stream. Kind of see. What are you cooking tonight though, Greg? Anything nice? Just don't ask me to remember anything because I will forget. Tauros as well, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's the shiny hunting. Oh, no, that's a shame, Greg. That is a shame. Although, arguably, it also means you don't burn anything or not cook anything fully through. Which is also probably a good thing. Chicken. Chicken and orzo rat-a-tat bake. Ooh. Sounds nice. What did I make this weekend? I did kebab meat and chips. Rat-a-tat. Hopefully it's not from rat. Could get shiny Gyarados? I could do. But I don't need a water type. That's the problem. Because I'm going with Squirtle, I don't really need a water type for the team. So in my opinion, it's kind of silly getting an extra water type. It's like having Arcanine when you have Charizard. You know, it's a cool shiny, and it's, you know, it's good for, you know, it's good if you have gone for something else. But the problem is, because I'm rocking Squirtle, I don't really need anything else. So I think I think it would work, but I think I'm going to go for Arcanine and Growlithe more so than I am for Gyarados and Magikarp. If I was playing with Charizard, I would 100% do Magikarp. I do like Magikarp. Oh, God. Welcome in, Chris. Hope you're doing well. I think Mum has just left. No, she's not left yet. Like I say, when I do... The problem is I'm going to do a Leaf Green playthrough at some point, because I want to get all the dogs. So, but those will probably just be regular playthroughs, and then just shiny hunting for the dogs. I'm going to do for the grass type. I haven't thought that far ahead, if I'm honest. I've probably got a bit of time, because I'm most likely not getting it today. So I'll probably spend tomorrow doing just a little bit of double checking. I mean, I could go Oddish, I could go Vileplume. I mean, I could also do... Well, no, I think that's really all I can do. At least in the earlier section of the game. Although, I mean, to be fair, for the beginning stages, I don't think I'm really going to need a grass type. Although, to be fair, I'm not against the idea of having a Beedrill. I mean, I could also go Parasect, realistically, as well. Trying to think. I mean, for the most part, water covers a lot of the same stuff grass would, apart from water. I'm half thinking if it's worth not going for a grass type and instead go for an electric Pokemon. Primarily because, you know, rock and ground, water can also deal with. So it is literally just electric that's the problem. I mean, really need to get my handle on how this resetting works. Because the other option is in Fire Red, you couldn't get Cloyster, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get shiny Cloyster. Can't use Cloyster. I've got a water type Pokemon already. Hey, Cloud. Are you doing well? Or Psyduck. Or Wooper. I'm probably going to get Wooper, though. Yeah, and you never shut up about it, Chris. Every time you can put it into a conversation, guys, always Caterpie. I don't know what's more annoying, the fact that it was your first or the fact that you still have it. Because I know for a fact it's on your Heart Gold save. Which is fine. But I'm wondering whether it's worth me, instead of worrying about grass type, going for Elekid or, you know, something along those lines. Because again, the only benefit grass gives me that isn't covered by water is it's against, well, it's the same thing that water doesn't give me is water. Oh, okay. Do that. Water doesn't cover ground? I thought water did cover ground. Was that later? Yeah, so it will give me good. The only one it doesn't is the only problem that I would have that I would need a grass type to cover, right, is Quagsire. Because obviously he's water ground, so being that I can't use a water type move on him would mean I can't use water to KO him, and I can't use electric to KO him. So in that situation, that's the only time I would need a grass type Mon. That's the only situation where a grass type Mon would be better than the electric type Mon. For that very specific situation, right? Hey, Realist, I'm good. How are you? Your weekend was good. I mean, there is also, I'm thinking electric type. I could also just go Jolteon, right? For the electric one. I was thinking Elekid, but I could also go Jolteon. Again, there is the potential of Oddish. Gonna shiny hunt Lapras for ice coverage. I haven't thought that far ahead, Grammatic. I have not thought that far ahead. You can get Pikachu in the Viridian Forest as well. Yeah, but I've literally just finished doing a Pikachu hunt. I'm not really wanting to get into a long Pikachu hunt. And that's the problem, obviously, is that because I've just done Pikachu in ZA, it came by so quick that I'm now annoyed. After the third badge? Oh, okay. I mean, I don't have to have it to do Misty. Although, again, Abra and Dratini obviously are both potentially on the cards because you can... I think you can shiny hunt them in the game zone, right? Arcade corner, the gamble zone. God, I think my controller's not happy with me. I'm sure I'm pressing these buttons right every time, but it's taking me a little while to get them going. Right, here's a big one then. Why don't we get the guesses in with how long it will take for me to get the Squirtle shiny? How many resets? Because I think we're at that point now where it's definitely not going to be a today one. If it was going to happen today, I would have liked it to have already happened. But it's not. So what's everyone's prediction on when? I'm hoping no one other than Greg goes over, like, base odds. Because that's just going to be an absolute nightmare. Greg likes to go like 10k. I'm predicting Greg goes like 10k. Because Greg's mean like that. 47? Oh, okay. Marumo coming in with 2,000, just shy of 2,500. That's not bad. Really not bad. Greg with the 47. Aurelius with the 5,000. Chromatic with the 1,300. I mean, to be fair, from everyone else that I've seen shiny hunting the starters, a lot of people seem to have got them like under odds. Like drastically so. So I'm imagining mine's going to go massively over odds because that's just my luck with starters. Starters for me are always over odds. Horribly so. 1,517 from Cloud. Ugh, not liking that. Not liking that, Cloud. Could maybe bring it down a little bit more, you know. Be a little bit friendlier. Not so high. I mean, today will be a good exercise in seeing how many we can get done in a stream. I mean, I don't know what the current rate is. What, like 2 a minute? So 2 a minute, and we are what, 120 an hour. Oh goodness. No, that can't be right. No, that can't be right. Yeah, more generous than Aurelius, that's true. Aurelius with over 5,000. That is true. What are we... It would be about... What, maybe 200 in a stream? So it would take me 10 days of hunting to get to 2,000. Oof. I definitely don't like the sound of that. That sounds... That's awful. It really does. But no, in terms of team, I'm just looking at the red version exclusives. Most of them are water, which kind of upsets me a little bit. Although, to be fair, Quagsire is a dual type. So you could argue with the ground, he deals with the water, with the electric type mons for me. I don't know. It's annoying because I wouldn't mind Scizor. But the problem is, obviously, it's physically impossible for me to get Scizor until after I buy the second game. So it's whether or not I settle for Skarmory or not. Oh, what have you ended up with team-wise, Cloud? Obviously, Eevee is definitely on the team. I could tell you that before you told me that. But what else have you gone for? You're going to shiny hunt the full team? I don't know yet. Arrow. I'm thinking about it. I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to run team-wise. I haven't quite made my mind up on it yet. I haven't really gone into this with like a full expectation of what my team's going to be. I think it's going to take forever. Yeah, so do I. To be fair, this Saturday, I should be able to do a decent amount of resets. I can't on Sunday, but I can on Saturday. Nidoking would be a safest bet. Yeah, but I kind of... The problem is, in my opinion, don't get me wrong, I really like Nidoking. I think his design looks awesome. I think he's super cool. The problem is that everyone's going to be running a Nidoking, right? Or a lot of people are going to be running Nidoking. I kind of want to try and run a slightly different team. Because what will I end up with? Like, let's be honest, my starter, Nidoking, Arcanine, Dragonite, a HM, and then that only leaves me one other Pokemon to be individual. It's kind of like, no. I'm not like other girls. I'm not materialistic. I am. I would 100% go for a team like that, but I think I need to diversify a little bit, which is why I'm half thinking, do I just random hunt and see whatever Pokemon turns up shiny and use that, rather than specifically hunting. Again, other than the very specific hunts, you know, I want to do the I want to do Roku. I also want to do Ho-Oh Lugia. I also want to do Deoxys. I also want to do Mewtwo. But other than that, I would kind of want to play it as I get what I get. Should we go for Chansey? I mean, I could do. I mean, the only problem I would have with Chansey is Norman's gym, right? Is that in this game? The fighting... Is he in this game? Honestly, I can't remember. The fighting type gym would be the only one I'd have trouble with, right? Oh no, he's the normal type gym leader. No, I'd be fine. Who am I thinking? Thinking of someone. Is the Elite Four member? Is that what I'm thinking? There's someone that I'm thinking that would probably cause me trouble with that. But then I was also thinking, I kind of want to go Murkrow. But the problem with Murkrow is he doesn't evolve. So I feel like he's kind of a bit meh. There is a fighting type gym and there's Bruno. Okay. Again, it depends. If I then go for a flying type Mon, that's fine. But the question is, who do I go for then? We go Delibird. Is Delibird dual type in this? Am I remembering that correctly? Is Delibird ice flying or is he just ice? Because Delibird is, again, different. Ice flying. So do we go Delibird? I mean, I guess the most important thing is, can Delibird learn fly? And also, when do we get Delibird? Because if Delibird's like end game, it's not going to quite work out super well. Because the other option was Skarmory, right? But Skarmory, is that 3 females in a row? That's mad lucky. Most are half normal. Well, that's the thing. And even then, yeah, with ice flying, you still get clocked by them. Playing on the Switch on the GBA or... No, I'm playing on the Switch. Yeah, I'm playing on my Switch. I've just cropped it so it fits in the scene correctly. If I swap over to here, you'll see it's got borders, and I just didn't like it, so instead we are here. But yeah, so I mean, the other option that I was thinking of was Skarmory. But I feel like Skarmory is going to be such a pain to hunt that I thought maybe not Skarmory. I wouldn't mind Skarmory, but I just think it's going to be a bit of a pain to hunt. I also need to double check all of the effects in this game because I'm pretty sure you can run... Is it running with a magnet increases the likelihood of steel type Pokemon from appearing? Am I remembering that correctly? Or was it something else? I mean, to be fair, it could be something else. I would not put it past me that it was something else. I wonder if I can... Oh, no, because I think you can only do the buttons on the back to be single buttons. I was going to say, I got the 2 back controllers on the Switch 2 controller, and I was like, oh, I'm wondering if there's... Oh, Magnet Pull, that was it. I was wondering if I could just use those to just make resetting quick and easier, but I don't think I can. That was it. I know it was Magnet Pull. I know it was Magnet something, I will say. Yeah, again, it's whether or not I go for a Magnemite. I mean, I could do. That wouldn't be a horrible electric type. But again, if it's not a guaranteed... Oh, God, if it's not a guaranteed thing, then getting one that's shiny with it would also be a pain. Unless I get one just for helping me do shiny hunting. And again, it would literally only help me. It'd be... Well... I mean, it would give me Magnemite and also then I'm weaker to other... Nah, maybe that wouldn't work. Nah, maybe not. I don't know. I like the idea of Delibird, but I also think it's not going to be super amazing. Obviously, I can potentially go Abra and get Alakazam. That could also potentially work for dealing with the fighting types. But again, I feel like a lot of people might be doing that. I don't know. Yeah, that's the problem, Cloud. When you're busy, but there's still stuff... When you're tired and there's still stuff to do. It is a bit of a shame. I wonder if we'll ever see the inside of a Pokedex. Evolve it all the way to Alakazam in this. I think you can, but I think you need to trade it to do it. So obviously, I would need to buy Leaf Green and then game share it on another console to then trade it, or do that way. All right, Chromatic. Well, thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a good day at school. And a realist. Thank you for stopping by. And thank you. Great seeing you too. And yeah, thank you for luck on the hunt. Hopefully, I mean, hopefully we'll get it today, but we'll see. But no, I'm pretty sure you can, Greg. But again, because trading is local only, it's kind of a pain. I very much prefer it if we could do online trading. But because it's local only, either I have to buy another copy of the game, or, you know, I have to get a family member who has another copy of the game to trade. Because I very much doubt you can trade any other way. Which is a bit annoying, but there's not a lot you can do, so sassy one. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Again, I still need to realistically think what I'm gonna no nickname. Ooh, nice Cloud. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, I could also go Doug Trio. I don't want... I don't need... I need Kingler. Kingler would be nice. I mean, ooh. Can I maybe go Aerodactyl? What am I thinking team-wise here? Like Aerodactyl could be a good choice. Again, I'm trying to choose. Like, I was thinking maybe Rhydon, but then I feel like why go with Rhydon when I could go with Aerodactyl? Again, I don't need Kabutops, and I don't really need Omastar, because again, I've kind of got the water type covered. Oh no, I do want to go Squirtle, I just don't want to nickname him. I mean, the other option is, do I go Hypno instead of Abra? Instead of Alakazam. Really do like Nidoking. Hit Xatu. I don't think so. Unless I'm just blind and I cannot see it. Which is entirely plausible. Yeah, in all fairness, Zatu probably would be one of the better ones to go for. No, doesn't look like it. Although, in all fairness, once I get Mewtwo, I'm not going to need a Psychic Pokemon anymore. But Mewtwo is like end game, so maybe not. Again, the dual types are kind of what you're after, right? Because they help. They make the most sense in terms of getting as much cover down as possible. So in that instance, then maybe I go Executor then. I'm pretty sure that's not version exclusives. Because then that's Grass Psychic. Ooh, nice Cloud. Training yourself to be ambidextrous. The Executor might be then the better choice for me, right? Because then I can at least get Grass and Psychic. Trying to think then what else? Again, I mean, if I'm going Executor, do I allow myself at least one more of the common ones? And do I go with a Dragonite? Again, Dragon Flying. The thing I don't really... Because in that situation, I don't need Abra. Right? If I've got Executor, I don't need Abra. I don't need Oddish, realistically. I'm still going to need a Fire type. So the question is, do I cave and instead of going Arcanine, go Rapidash? Again, I don't mind Arcanine. I really like Arcanine, but if I'm taking Dragonite, I can't allow myself Arcanine. Or if I take Arcanine, do I then get Aerodactyl? Yeah, ambidextrous. Or do I go Dodrio? I'm pretty sure Dodrio can learn Fly. So then do I go Dodrio rather than either of those? And then use Dodrio as my HM guy. That is also true. Yeah, I need to double check. As soon as I pick the team, I'm going to look it up and it's going to be like, yeah, everything's post-game, and I'm just going to cry. Again, because I'm like, oh man, Rhyperior would be cool. Rhyperior isn't until the next gen. And then Magmortia and Electivire, not until next gen. And man, it'd be so cool to have those Pokemon. I don't know if I want the pre-evolved versions of those final stages. Also, Kingdra as well. I don't think Kingdra is in this gen, I don't think. I'm only seeing Seadra. Could be mistaken, but I don't think so. Yeah. So again, though, I don't know how much of a benefit having Dragonite would be, because realistically, it's a pain to level up because of how high of a threshold it is for evolution. I mean, the best one to cover a lot of weaknesses, in my opinion, I think, is Hitmonchan, because it can learn punches, right? I think you can... the game arcade zone, Greg, I think you can get it there. I don't know if it's the same area or not. Oh yeah, I mean, handwriting's still a really good skill to have, in my opinion, as well. Because at least then Hitmonchan is just like a backup. Alright, I give Hitmonchan all the punches and then just kind of sit back and chill. Because at least I know then I'm good. Also, from what I have seen, there's not been anyone that I've seen that's completed the game so far that's had Hitmonchan on the team. So maybe then Blastoise, Hitmonchan, Executor, maybe Dodrio? Because again, I can use Dodrio as the HM machine, right? I can give it Fly. I think I can give it Cut. The only one I probably can't give it is Rock Smash. Obviously, Squirtle I can give Surf. I'm gonna say, I mean, I think unless you go and you spend the time to get your handwriting like so perfect, your handwriting's never gonna be good. But, you know, my handwriting's handwriting, like it does the job. Okay, now I think those 4 Pokemon work, right? So then it's a case of who do I fill in the last 2 slots? Because that should give me pretty much all the HMs covered. And it should also give me most of the type coverings covered as well. So So the question is, who do I fill out the last few slots with? I feel like a one of the mags could be good. Magnemite could be good. I'm just thinking of trying to catch some of the I'm gonna need a team to help me prep for catching the legendaries and that anyway. So yeah, by taking a computer place drop. I mean, that's what I've done, Greg. My handwriting is enough to get by, but I'm quite happy with not needing it at all. Oh, if it works, Cloud, it works. Who are we to judge? If it's getting you results, you might as well keep doing it. So okay. So the only two kind of mons that I'm missing damage wise for typing that would potentially help me would be anything mainly to deal with glass. Grass even. So do I go with a fire type? Or do I go with an ice type? Again, I kind of didn't mind the idea of Delibird, but the problem is, I mean, as with anything, Delibird is probably about as... I don't know, I think the moves maybe on Dotrio is maybe a bit better. Yeah, that's the other thing. I think it's a later game thing. I mean, again, having Blastoise means I can give him an ice type move, right? I guess there's Lapras Dewgong, or there is Cloyster. I mean, yeah, there is also Jinx as well. Jinx, I thought, though, was pretty late-ish game. And again, the problem is, if I'm going Executor, Jinx... I'd like to avoid doubling up on types if possible. Again, if it's a dual type and one type I don't have, I kind of am like, well, it is what it is. Again, so what am I thinking? Blastoise is just pure water. So we've got water. We've got Grass Psychic. Fighting. Normal flying. So I'm thinking a fire type would be good. And the problem is that if I don't want to copy what everyone else is doing with the team, then I'm going to go with Rapidash. Or Flareon. Those, I think, really are the only two options to go for. That kind of means I'm doing it a little bit different, right? But then again, Hitmonchan, if I can get Fire Punch on Hitmonchan, do I really need a Fire type? Is it then a necessity? Because again, Hitmonchan with Fire Punch could maybe do a good bit of damage. Trying to think of the moves available to Hitmonchan in this gen. Maybe it's worth having a look up. Okay. Not amazing. Now the question is, do these games count as Gen 3? Or are these... Oh, they are. Okay. There is a whole grass gym. That is true. Right. Egg move. No. Learning moves. Okay. I mean, there's nothing there really that's... Right, actually, hold up. Let me get all the Pokemon that I want. Go back in Chromatic. Learn moves. Gen 3. The only... Dodrio can only learn Fly. Maybe then Farfetch'd is the better option. If he can learn Cut and Fly. Man. And he gets Full Swipe as well, which pretty useful. It is better than just Fly. Why is Bidoof not in this game? I need Bidoof. I need Bidoof. Bidoof would not let me down like this. Yeah, clearly. I mean, do I maybe get Excadrill? Sorry, Excadrill. Do I maybe get Beedrill? Don't make noises at me. Yeah, I know. The graphical fidelity just wasn't there for him. It is a real shame. Strength is the only one Executor can learn. What do you get? Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch. So those are the 3 that I need. So I can give Hitmonchan 1. Interesting that they count as special attacking moves. I would not have thought that a move labeled Punch would be a special attacking move. Considering Sky Uppercut and Mega Punch are classified as physical. How interesting is that? Okay, so then I give him Rock Smash, maybe? Again, at this point, it's trying to diversify. what has what HMs so that I'm not stuck. Oh, really? I'm going to say, because I'm looking at the list and half the moves on here are saying that they're physical moves. And half of them are saying that they're special. Granted, I am on... This is Pokemon DB. Maybe it's just keeping them all... Maybe it's just doing it the same for all of them. Oh, yes, that's the problem. I really don't know. Oh, I see. Yes. I believe so, Chromatic. Because he's just pure normal. Ah, okay, I see. Okay, so in that instance, then it shouldn't matter. So he'll still do good damage with whatever he gets. So that's fine. I mean, again, Cotton Fly, Rock Smash, Strength, Surf. God, it feels bad, but is Blastoise the perfect HM one for me? Oh God, he so is. Surf, Strength, Waterfall, Rock Smash, and Dive. God, it's such a shame. I mean, to be fair, it's not the end of the world. Like, Surf is, like, decent power. Same with Waterfall. The only one that's not amazing there is Dive and Rock Smash. Ah, I see. I see. I think I get it. Indeed it is, Cow. How are you doing? Hope your day is going well. Hope you're doing good. No nickname. Again, I would like to think I got an alright-ish team. The other option is... Blissey also does get 2. Sorry, Chansey does get 2. I could go... Could get Chansey. Oh, I don't know. It's interesting Chansey gets Rock Smash. So, hold up. Moves learn, Gen 3. Yeah, see, that's the thing. When is the next Rowlet stream? Never, cow. Rowlet is dead. Never to get it. So, okay, so in theory then, would it make more sense if I wanted coverage to go with Abra rather than Alakazam rather than Hitmonchan? And get him all of the moves. Although he can only get it via egg moves. Is that right? Yeah. Oh my goodness. So that's a nightmare to do. Right, like in theory I can get it one, but like it's gonna be a lot of work. I mean it will still what most likely do the job, right? And it would give me a good amount of coverage, but obviously in the ideal build for it, it would be better to go for Hitmonchan. Sorry, it would be better to go for Alakazam with Calm Mind and all those punches. Because again, I can get Bulk Up, but Bulk Up... Oh no, just Bulk Up. Is that physical and special? Or in these old games, was it just physical? Attack and defense. I mean, it's annoying. Then the only ones it would be good for would be Revenge, Mach Punch, Sky Uppercut, Mega Punch, and Counter. Oh, why is this so difficult? Or do I just say screw it and we just run it? Because that's the problem. Is trying to decide how micro I want to get on this. Yeah, exactly, Greg. That's the thing. I think Hitmonchan will work fine. I also need to figure out Pokemon best used in these games to be the little HM holder. I'm sure there are videos already out explaining what Pokemon is the best one to use. I just know it's not Bidoof, and that's all I know. And it makes me sad every time. Because yeah, again, I could in theory, if it was like competitive, like sure. Or after I finished the game and I want a challenge, sure. It might be worth going and trying to build the Alakazam really good. You know, going and building an Alakazam and then shiny hunting that Alakazam and going from there. But I don't know if it's really worth it. I don't know if I'm going Arcanine. Chromatic, that's the thing. I think if I needed a fire type for the team, I think it would make more sense to go for Rapidash just to be different. Again, I think I might do the Dratini hunt because it's an easy hunt to do. And I might do the Abra hunt again because it's an easy hunt to do. But I don't know. I don't know the best way to do it. Where can I get Bonita? Oh, wrong button. Location. Oh, exactly the same area. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like I could just. I think team-wise, I'm happy with, at least for right now, Blastoise, Hitmonchan, Executor, and then figure out the rest as we go. And I think that I think is fine. And then we'll kind of figure out the rest as we go. Again, whether or not I get Dragonite and put on the team, or Aerodactyl, or, you know, anything like that. I think it's very impossible to be 20 levels higher in this game, but yeah, obviously that is a potential, right? It's just to be way over leveled. Which, let's be honest, at the end of the day is entirely possible. It's a feasible thing to achieve. Also, just because I'm curious, no one has to answer if you don't want to. But I have noticed, and I don't know if it's because it's a recent thing. I don't think it's because the game is relatively newly released, or what. Obviously, the regulars are the regulars here, you know. But I was curious, for anyone who's maybe tuning in for the first time, or anything like that, is there anything in particular that made you want to click on the stream? In other words, what did people think of the thumbnail? Because, I mean, the title is as basic as it gets. So I doubt it's that pulled anyone in. But I'm curious for my own morbid curiosity. Don't get me wrong, I can see after the stream ends the click-through rate on the stream. that, you know, but that doesn't really say, doesn't really give me the whole picture of, you know, did people join because they were bored, because, you know, I mean, because it was there, or, you know, things like that. Very hard to say. Again, you know, it's very much, it's very hard to tell in this day and age on this platform. Again, don't get me wrong, I spent a lot of, well, how long did I spend on it? Over the course of a few days, maybe 2.5 hours on everything. You know, the new overlay, the new layout, and things like that. Welcome in, Waxy. Not a lot of people streaming Pokemon. Oh, really? That surprises me. I thought this... Well, I guess it depends on where you are. In the US, it is obviously early morning and things like that. Hey, Abra. How are you doing? Are you doing well? It has indeed been a little while. Oh, I do want to pick Squirtle. But yeah, no, maybe I'll spend some time tomorrow just trying to put some more thought into what team I'm going to run with. I think I'm half there, but we'll see. Just going from work, how me? Me is good. Very good. I mean, I would be even better with a shiny, but, you know, we can't have everything. Kind of just gotta go until it shines, and that's that. But no, I'm glad you're doing all right. Hey, Ollie. Hope you're doing well. Weekend was good. In the next 100, Waxy. Well, we have a rule here where if you say it's within a certain amount and it's not, you get banned. So just keep that in mind. If we don't get it by 228, it's a ban for you, Waxy. Permanent. No returns. Same with you, Ollie. I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. He says he clearly makes the rules. Oh, Greg, you reminded me. Oh, well. It was nice having you here, Greg, while it lasted. You shouldn't have reminded me. No, I think the rule was... I think the rule was members are exempt from the rule. I think that was the rule. It's a ban for everyone else but members. I think that's how it worked. But I also think it was only members of the higher membership tier. So again, I think that does mean Greg has to go. Again, I don't make up the rules, you know. I think these are just rules that have just existed since the beginning of time, you know. I think it's the same for every stream. I say you don't have to, Waxy. I appreciate it if you do, but there is no what's the word? No pressure to subscribe. Apparently not, Colt. Apparently not. So you can still do the nugget glitch, I think it is. And I think you can do a couple of other stuff as well. So no, they still exist. Plus you get all the event tickets once you beat the Elite Four, which is the only reason, plus home support, that I bought it. Like, in my opinion, that made it well worth it. Yeah, I am, Waxy, yeah. On the Switch. Well, on the Switch too, but yeah, on the Switch. On the Switch ecosystem. The thing is I own 2 copies of Leaf Green, like physical, legit copies of Leaf Green. So I think I've done my part in buying them. To be fair, Cole, I don't blame you. I don't. The only reason I got it is, well, there's 2 reasons. One is home support, because I think that was one of the big things for me. And the other was the events. Because I can shiny hunt Ho-Oh, Lugia, and Deoxys in this. That's the only reason that I mainly got it. I think it's the first time in a while you can legitimately shiny hunt Deoxys. Trying to think if you could you do it in... Was Deoxys... No, I don't think Deoxys was in Max Raid Dens. I think it's the first time in a while you can do it legit. But no, I don't blame you for not getting it, Cole. Again, it's not for everyone. But, you know, I enjoy torturing myself. Ooh, nice Ollie. I was debating going for Paris in this game, but I'm still not quite set on whether or not I want one. We'll just have to wait and see. Ooh. This is the only problem with these kind of hunts, is that there's the potential that this takes me like a month and a half. And I'll be honest, I don't want to stream this for a month and a half straight if I can help it. Just on the starters. So again, on my days not streaming, I will be continuing. However, I will also be recording it just in case I do get the shiny off stream. I doubt it, because I'm not that lucky. As we discovered with Rowlet, I am not that lucky when it comes to starter hunting. That reminds me, I'm still debating whether or not I want to finish Rowlet. I really don't know. Part of me really wants to, but also part of me is like, God, I'm like, can I like be done with that hunt? I don't want to have to think about it anymore. It's just one of those where it's like too much work for what it's worth. The Ponyta, nice. Angler, Staravia, Kricketot. Ooh. I do like Kricketot. I do. I like the Deddy Whoops. I am one of those people who loves the Deddy Whoops. Give me an opportunity, I will Deddy Whoop. Ooh, nice. Paris, Tangler, and Badoo. Tangler's a nice one. I like Tangler. I really do. I think it's a cool shiny. The green, I think, works really well for it. Again, the Deli Whoops. Do the Deli Whoop? I can't do the Deli Whoop. I can make it make the Deli Whoop sound. What did I have? I had that binded to something for a little while, didn't I? Where I could just press a button and it would deli whoop. Do I still have that set up? No. No, I did at one point have it set up. But I don't have it set up anymore. Did I count this? I don't think I counted this, did I? No, I did not count this. Okay. Yeah, I had it set up, but I don't think I do anymore. I'll have a look. I'll have a look tomorrow. Just soft reset, January. Yeah. Just soft reset. I'm not confident in my ability enough to get the timing correct for a manipulation. This is unfortunately just brute force. Yeah. I appreciate it, January. Lord knows I'm going to need it. My luck with starters is bad enough as it is. Even when the odds are half of what these games' odds are. Although, that being said, last year I did get shiny Darkrai in 300 resets. So it is possible. That will forever go down as my crowning achievement. That's also true, yeah. Although I don't know. I mean, it will probably be slightly different. I know, good old, Papa Hefe has been doing some of testing with it. I do believe he's been doing stuff with it. He's been testing it out. He got a shiny. I don't know if it was in this game or not. I'll have to double check, but I know I saw a short of his recently pop up. Where he got a shiny Staryu with max. Well, with the good EVs that he wanted. IVs. Was that? No, that might have been an old one. Yeah, that was a very old one. Ignore me. I don't know why it... probably because I've been searching for Fire Red and Leaf Green stuff. It gave me that short recently. I didn't realize it was just for those old games. Have you been seeing if the other two are shiny? No. Why on earth would I do that, Ollie? To be fair, I think you physically can't check because it only shows you... It doesn't show you on this screen. It shows you when you check it in the menu. So I don't think you can check it. It's not like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, where you can reset the game and scan through them all and then see it shiny there. I think you can only check if it's shiny inside the menu after this point. At least that's what I believe I heard. How many resets before a Charmander check? Max odds. Yeah. Same situation with Rowlet and Litten. We would only do a Litten check at each time we passed max odds. So I've got to continue that here. So the first one will be at 8,000. 190. Is it 192? 8192. So that would be the first one. You want you to shiny hunt Rowlet? Go for it, Ollie. It's not that I can't shiny hunt Rowlet. It's not that I'm forbidden from getting a shiny Rowlet. It's just my Ultra Moon game just doesn't want me to get a Rowlet. A shiny one at that. Bulbasaur after you hit max odds on Charmander? Exactly, Greg. Yeah, exactly the same situation as Papio. Although, arguably, don't get me wrong, I prefer... I think I prefer Bulbasaur over Charmander. However, I prefer Charizard over Venusaur. I'm sure that's going to stir up a lot. Nah, don't get me wrong. I think all the Gen 1 starters are all quite solid. I think I like them all about the same. However, in terms of was between prefer Ivysaur and Charmeleon. Problem is they're both really good extensions of their first stage. That's the thing. It's not like they do anything extreme. You know, it's not like from Bulbasaur to Ivysaur, he stands on 2 legs. You know, like I think all of the Gen 1 starters do this very well. They all kind of stay on the same footing that they start on. So again, Squirtle stays on 2 legs throughout its evolutionary line. Charmander stays on 2 legs throughout its evolutionary design. Ivysaur stays on 4 legs throughout its evolutionary design. There's no situation where it goes bipedal all of a sudden during its evolutionary line and becomes more human-like in its final form. They all fit quite well into each other, in my opinion. However, I think I like them about both the same. Is going to be my political answer. Again, all of the middle stages, I think, are very good extensions of the Pokemon. Actually, thinking about it, Gen 4 is very similar. In that, obviously, they all start on what they end up on. There's no, like, growing up, you know, moving from 2-legged to 4-legged or anything like that. I'm only saying that because it's about the same in terms of this. In terms of Gen 1, Gen 4 is very similar. The grass type is on 4 legs all the way through in both gens. The fire type is on 2 legs all the way through. And the water type is on 2 legs all the way through. Obviously, it's different in other gens. You know, with what stays on 2 legs and what's on 4. Then you go to Gen 2 and Typhlosion just can't make his mind up. Yeah, exactly. It starts on 2, then goes to 4, then ends up on 2. And then... Again, Chikorita, though, is quite... consistent, right? And so is Feraligatr. So again, they're not horrible, right? Yeah, it just can't make its mind up. To be fair, I think it works in his design. But, you know, it is kind of, it is very borderline. Or you just do a complete reverse, you know? You do you just do a Litten, 4 legs, all of a sudden 2 legs, and he becomes a pro wrestler. Like that's the only option. Or see, Gen 9 was a little bit different because of the fact Sprigatito started on 2 and then started on 4, then went 2 and stayed on 2. Again, I think when you go starting stage, middle stage, and then change on the end stage, it's a bit different than if you change from first to second and then keep that going from second to third. In my non-professional opinion. And Fukuyako started on 2 and ended up on 4. I think his design, though, kind of worked for it because he was a big round ball. And it kind of only made sense for him to end up bigger and fatter. And I think it works for him. Also, don't disrespect my Fukuyako. I think out of all of the starters, Fukuyako was my favorite. Don't get me wrong, I very much, and again, part of it could be nostalgia, part of it could just be the designs were really, really good. I think my favorites, like for the earlier games, are pretty much all the starters. And then once we get past Gen 4 is when it starts really fragmenting. So Gen 1, I love all of the starters. Realistically, I really like their designs. Gen 2, the only one that I'm not a massive fan of is Chikorita's line. I don't mind it, but it's not my favorite. Gen 3, I like all of them. Gen 4, I like all of them. Gen 5 is where it starts to split a little bit for me. Not massively, but, you know, again, like there's just some I'm just not a big fan of. And then Gen 6 is realistically where it starts to fragment, where I go, I really don't like that one. And it's 1 or 2 kind of in each generation as it goes along. Like, again, I ended up picking Scorbunny, but I'm not a massive fan of Inteleon. And I'll be honest, I wasn't really a massive fan of Scorbunny's design. And I still don't think I am. But the only other option then was Grookey, and I really like Grookey's design. I just don't like Rallyboom's design. So, you know, you kind of got to pick your battles when it comes to favorite starters. Hey, Royal. How are you doing? Hope your weekend was good. Hope your Monday's going well. The only reason I like the Gen 2 starters primarily is for Alligator. I don't like how they did his Mega, but I can kind of live with that. I mean, again, in my opinion, Rallyboom is the only relatively okay designed one from Gen 9. I just couldn't get on board with any of the other ones. And even then, like, it's picking the best out of a bad bunch more so than it is picking a clear winner out of all of them, in my opinion. How's my day going? My day's going good. Work was quiet to the point where I really didn't do a lot. And and I'm shiny hunting, so what could be better than that? To be fair, Greg, I think, in my opinion, I'm going to say this a lot. In my opinion, that's what makes the evolutionary line good. Because I don't like it when they change drastically. I like it when it's only kind of like a subtle change. Like Squirtle, for instance. Squirtle and Bulbasaur aren't really massive changes. Again, they just get a bit bigger. Charizard, I would argue, is the biggest change because he gets like big wings. But what does Squirtle get? Cannons on his back. What does Ivysaur get? His flower opens. You know, what does Venusaur get? Sorry. You know. So Charizard gets wings and more of a dragon-like appearance. Like, there's not, you know, they're not massive changes, but I think that's what makes them good. It makes it a lot better than Torracat to Incineroar. I think we can all agree on that. Like, that, in my opinion, made, like, no sense at all. Like, oh yeah, by the way, cat, wrestler cat. I don't know, Royal. I kind of do, but again, I kind of don't. Again, I like the idea of the fire dog, but we've got a lot of fire dogs, so it kind of needs to stand itself out design-wise. And so long as it doesn't end up on 2 legs, I'm fine with that. I mean, yeah, Paraguns all of a sudden is a drastic change, but like in overall its appearance, like you can still kind of tell it's a Squirtle. If you look at Litten and Incineroar, and then look at the difference between the two, in my opinion, you couldn't tell that Litten evolves into Incineroar, because it is so much different. But you can tell that a Squirtle is the end evolutionary line of, you know, Blastoise is the end evolutionary line of a Squirtle. I don't like Browst, because it just looks like Rowlet 2.0. Give it a different typing and see what it gets. I'm quite intrigued with the Gecko. But we'll see. Really, hold up. Let me have a look. Incineroar. Like, you look at Incineroar and you tell me, look at an Incineroar next to a Litten. Like, the whole evolutionary line just... I mean, obviously, other than the color. Like, I'm just like, okay, you can tell Torracat is from Litten, but then you go to Incineroar and it's like, okay. Like, that's very, very different. Again, I just don't like Incineroar. I think that's what it comes down to. It's not even a case of like, oh man, I do competitive Pokemon battling and Incineroar is such a pain to deal with. I just don't like Incineroar just design-wise. I think it was silly. If Torracat went bipedal and kind of looked like a smaller Incineroar, I think it would be slightly better than otherwise. Kind of like Brigatito to the middle stage of Mouscarada, whose name is currently escaping me. Like, you know, that, in my opinion, worked better than the Incineroar line. I still didn't like it, but, you know, it worked better, in my opinion. But I don't like... I'm really scared for Pom Pom because he might end up as a 2-legged animal. Yeah, no, I agree. Oh, again, yeah, like, yeah, I can, you know, he is a big part of that, but I just don't like his design. Like, I can't argue with the fact, you know, he is very distinctive. I just don't like the evolutionary line in general. But no, I get what you're saying, Ollie, with the Ghastly to Gengar. I mean, hell, you could even say Gengar to Haunter. But again, it's not like Gengar was like, or sorry, Haunter was like 4 legs and went on 2 all of a sudden, or anything like that. Kind of went nom to, you know, well, no legs, 2 legs. Oh yeah, again, anyone who plays competitive absolutely love it. You know, like, don't get me wrong, I think Incineroar is an okay Pokemon for competitive. Well, everyone seems to use him in competitive. But I'm just not a fan of him as a design-wise. You know, I can't deny the impact that he's had since, being released, but I think in a generation with Decidueye, you know, it's kind of wrong for Incineroar to be the face of that. You reckon, Maddie? I hope so. I hope you're doing well, Maddie. Your week is going off to a good start. Probably not, Ollie. Again, I'm kind of... There's very little reason for me to go back to Legends Arceus. At the minute. I don't think I'm going to anytime soon. I really like Conkeldurr, like, design-wise, because I think it fits the evolutionary line incredibly well. He starts off with a bit, you know, Timber starts off with a bit of wood, then Girder, again, goes to steel, and then it's like Conkeldurr, concrete. It works on, like, so many levels. I'm trying to think my original... I think I had the most fun in my experience with Pokemon in Gen 5. However, keep in mind, I didn't grow up on, like, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. Like, Gen 4 was my first Pokemon game, and then I went to Gen 5. And I know a lot of people weren't massive fans of Gen 5 because it was like a soft reboot of the series. Which, don't get me wrong, I think Pokemon needed. And I was kind of hoping they were going to do something like that for Gen 10. But it doesn't look like they are. Which is fine. Where, you know, they redesign the original 151 Pokemon. And then you just basically get a whole new region just with like 151 Pokemon. And you can only get those Pokemon in the main game. And you can only access older Pokemon once you've completed the main game. I thought that was so cool. Because again, it forces you to use new Pokemon. Like, I can't deny the fact that if I go to Gen 10 and there's a Chimchar, I'm going to get the Chimchar and I'm going to use the Chimchar. No matter what starter I pick. You know, if there's a Starly or a Staraptor, I'm going to use the Staraptor. If there's a Garchomp, I'm going to use the Garchomp. You know, my favorite Pokemon, I'm going to try, you know, I'll most likely end up utilizing them. Whereas I think if they don't give you any Pokemon that you're used to, it forces you to use new Pokemon. Don't get me wrong, I can try my hardest to try and use only new Pokemon, but who am I to deny myself the pleasures of using Pokemon I enjoy? And arguably have a lot of history with. You know, at this point, people have like 30 years of history with some Pokemon. You're going to tell me that they're not going to not pick the Pokemon that they've got 30 years over. Exactly, Greg. That's the problem. But that's my concern, Matty, is that and not a lot of people are probably going to mix. Again, a lot of people, and again, you kind of see it with like this everyone playing through Fire Red again. The teams are just the same. Yeah, exactly. Or, I've seen it a couple of times with the Gen 4. You end up with like the same Pokemon on the team. Like 90% of Gen 4 playthroughs, I can guarantee you start with the same, like, 4 Pokemon. Okay, you get your starter, but Luxray, Staraptor, maybe not Garchomp. I know I didn't have Garchomp during my playthrough because you could only find him under the cave. But, like Staraptor, Lucario, like, you end up with the same kind of Pokemon. You'll end up with a legendary, But doesn't that come down to the player's fault? Oh, no. It 100% does. But that's why I liked the restriction on Gen 5, where you could only get previous games' Pokemon in the post-game, not during the main story. Because it forced you to kind of learn these new Pokemon and utilize these new Pokemon without giving you an escape of, if you're not getting along with it, just go and get Lucario, go and get Garchomp, go and get Pikachu, Oh, Ollie, I do not have the brain power for any facts today. I'm exhausted as it is. I need like a week's worth of sleep before I think I'd be up for trying to guess facts. Or I guess no, you're not saying guess the facts, you're saying fact. But no, it is I think it's 50-50. The problem is 50-50. It's 50% people not 50% people going for Pokemon that they know and have history with, and 50% the small amount of new Pokemon. Although actually I know there's a count somewhere. How many new Pokemon were introduced in Paldea? Was it a lot? I feel like it was only like 30 to 35, but I also feel like I could be incredibly wrong with that, and it could be closer to like 50 or 60. I mean, I did, Greg. I did the whole playthrough where I was like, I'm going to use Pokemon that I've never used before. And I was like, okay. It'll be a challenge because for the most part, I utilize the same team for every playthrough. And it made me think differently. But like, if I was just doing a regular playthrough, I'd catch Bidoof, I'd go for a Bibarel. I'd end up with, Garchomp. I'd end up with, the Pokemon that I like. Again, though, the thing is, like, with the earlier games, yeah, you are restricted. 114. Okay, that's more than I thought. But again, the way that the world was designed was you can kind of run anywhere and get... Oh, that's also true, yeah. Paradox and then DLC Pokemon. I mean, even if you say it's 100, right? Like... It's still not a bad number of Pokemon. But if they restricted it for, like, the first half an hour... No, maybe the first 3 gyms, that you could only get, new Pokemon in the region, I think that would be better. Because, again, you go onto the first route. What are the first few Pokemon you see? Lechonk, a new Pokemon, but then Fletchling. It's like Fletchling is a relatively popular fan favorite Pokemon. Again, the Pokemon, the only reason I'm saying this is because I know it played a relatively big part in the journey through that region on Ash's team in the anime. And again, it's like putting anime Pokemon front and center. People are going to kind of, you know, choose what they know. I'm not saying people didn't go for Lechonk. I know I didn't lose a Tronk at all on any playthrough. Because I kind of went for Pokemon that I knew. I was like, yeah, okay, these Pokemon are cool. But why would I settle for Houndstone when I can use Gengar? And again, it didn't help that you could kind of just go and explore and just get the Pokemon you wanted to get. Why would I use Paldean Wooper when I can use Krogunk? What, type advantage? But, like, I just prefer Krogunk. Yeah, all my runs were chonkless runs. I maybe caught one, but I don't think I actively ever utilized it on my team. Again, the only Pokemon, for the most part, that I think a lot of people take for the new regions, for the most part, I'm not saying everyone does this, but I think a large quantity of people, when the option's there for older Pokemon gen, you know, older gen Pokemon, I think the only one that they go for is the starter. Like, let's be real. I think for Gen... Can't exactly remember my exact team for Gen 9. But I'm pretty sure, basically, the only new Pokemon that I had on the team was the starter. Oh, and that's fine if you play that way, Matty. But what I'm saying is not everyone plays that way. It would be nice if everyone was in the same boat of your experience with this game is using new Pokemon only. And that's why, in my opinion, Gen 5 was my favorite gen. And arguably it still is to the date. The story was really good, but also because, you know, you were kind of fixed into utilizing new Pokemon. Don't get me wrong, from a design standpoint, it's a buttload of work. You know, like at least 100, 150 new Pokemon per region. It is a lot of work, you know. But if you're going through the hassle of introducing new Pokemon, which is fine to do, I would like to be restricted to just these new Pokemon. Because I cannot guarantee that in Gen 10 I'm not going to run for a Tropius and just use Tropius over Browst. You know, like, why would I have a flying... Most likely what's going to end up a flying grass bird when I can end up with Tropius? Like, Tropius is Tropius. He's got a banana on his neck, for God's sake. Why would I not pick Tropius? So... Again, we'll kind of see what the evolutionary lines are like, but we'll kind of go from there. But the thing with Hisui was old school Sinnoh. And again, I feel like Legends games don't need to add new, like a whole new Pokedex. Like regional forms, older forms, you know, historic forms, whatever. I think that's fine. But I think, you know, or, you know, even games where they don't introduce new Pokemon. Banana Flying Dinosaur, exactly. You know, even a game where we don't go to a new region, we go to an old region, but with new Pokemon, I think could be really interesting. Again, if they want to keep remaking Kanto games, keep remaking Kanto games, but bring it up to the future. You know, bring in new Pokemon into the region. I don't mind if you keep it 151 Pokemon in the dex, but bring in bring in 151 new Pokemon, give me the same experience in this region, just change up the teams. Change up the Pokemon you get. Legends Eternatus. I don't think we need a Galar Legends game. In my personal opinion, I feel like Gen 5 got robbed with a potential Legends game. Same with Johto as well. I feel like Johto could be a really good one for a Legends game. I feel like Gen 5 could be a really good game for a Legends game. I think it's too close to Gen 8 to get a Galar one. Maybe after 2 or 3 more Legends games, sure. Give us one in 6 years, you know, whatever, 8 years, 10 years. But I think, like, in terms of, like, you know, I don't think we need any, like, again, I personally wouldn't be a massive fan of Legends Paldea. And I think Paldea would be a horrible one for a Legends game, in my opinion, because they kind of mingled in a little bit of that into the main story of Paldea. That being said, I do think it will be interesting to see what happened with the robots when they went back in time or into the future. Because that's the other thing. You got to pick what one you do. Do you do a dual release where you've got Legends Scarlet, Legends Violet, and obviously one's Turo, one's the past lady? Or do you do it as a single game? See, branching stories like that, I just don't think work as well. Again, the only reason it works differently for Sada, that was it. The only reason it works differently for games like Alola, or, you know, the DS games, is because the stories are 90% the same. The only difference is the only difference, in my opinion, well, the only difference is what legendary you get. Right? Like 99% of the story is the same. So you could do a past story on that, because it's basically the same. Would the ride Pokemon be for Legends Kyurem? I don't think you would need ride Pokemon for it. Again, I don't think every game needs a ride Pokemon. Again, I'd like the idea of, like, seeing how Magearna got built. You know, we could kind of go back to that kind of time. Again, Galar could be cool, you know, with how it's done execution-wise. But I think we need a bit of a break from Galar before we come back to Galar in a few more years. I mean, Heatmore could be cool. Or Durant. Could you imagine riding around on Durant? That would be cool. But again, you know, I think at the end of the day, I would just like to see kind of a bit of new, you know, a bit of a restriction on how you can play the games a bit. Yeah. It's just Pikachu in different Pokemon costumes. You know, you got Pikachu Magikarp. You got Pikachu Rayquaza. You know, just go through, just do it like that. God, imagine that could potentially, like, destroy the card market. Could you imagine if they did that as a game and released cards alongside it that were basically exactly the same as the other, like, Poncho cards that got released? Obviously not exactly the same, they would be different. Could you imagine, like, how that would do on the market? I think it would be insane. Yeah, Pikachu Feedbass. Yeah, exactly. Just go that kind of style. I just think it would be really cool. It's a funny thing. Pikachu? Yeah, exactly. That would just be a Mimikyu though, no? Maybe that's where Mimikyu come from. Do you know what? I think finding out what Pokemon Mimikyu actually is underneath the costume would be insane. I think I would like that. I'd like to see that the most out of a lot of stuff recently. The relatively good thing apparently is a lot of people are selling off the what is it, Phantasmal Flames, because the Charizard card that was in there is apparently got a much higher pull rate than people originally first thought. So what they're saying is the Pokemon Company are kind of combating scalpers by making sure that by putting more of the rare cards on the market, which I think is a really good tactic. That's also true, Greg. Yeah, it will be. That's the problem. The hype behind it would be so big that, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't think they could live up to it. I think they designed a monster in that. I think it would be more interesting if there were other Pokemon that Mimikyu could dress up as, rather than just Pikachu. Everyone also loves Eevee, but we haven't seen a Mimikyu Eevee. Like, that would be in my opinion, that would be a potentially cool thing to find as well. Because let's be honest, what's more likely to believe that every single quote-unquote Mimikyu that's its own individual Pokemon all decided that they're going to dress up like Pikachu? Or did some of them decide we're going to dress up as other Pokemon? I just think seeing them in more costumes could be cool. I mean, that is also true. Could you imagine if it was Giratina in disguise as a Pokemon the whole time? Because could you imagine seeing Giratina's origin form just in this little Pokemon? It'd be pretty scary to see literally the god of the distortion world just peeking through the costume. Pokemon Infinite Fusion. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with Infinite Fusion, but like actual designed by Game Freak and the Pokemon Company Pokemon, you know? Don't get me wrong, I'm sure those designs are really cool, but like I'd like to see it in game, in lore perspective. Again, I'm just a bit kind of pedantic like that. Also, Eddie, anything is possible. I could get the shiny. Although, arguably, if I wanted an easy win, I could just go back and play ZA. That would be easy enough to do. Definitely got more done today than I thought I was going to get done today. I kind of thought we were going to max out at about 200, but I guess not. The problem is, and I really need to think about the next stage, I haven't thought about the next hunt after this hunt. Oh, what are you going for, Matty? Are you also going for Squirtle, or are you going for something different? What does a normal starter hunt look like, Greg? I haven't done... Yeah, Rowlet's the last shiny hunt, the last starter hunt that I'd done, technically. In that time, I did start and then stop as well, the Tepeg hunt. Could maybe do Growlithe. I need to decide the route I want to take with it. Again, half of me is just like, I kind of just want to do a shiny only playthrough, but then also part of me is like, I don't want to do like a badge quest or anything else. Looks like this. I assume you've never done one. Ah, it could be. What have I done? I've done 3. I've done Chimchar in BDSP, which I got shiny, by the way. I also need to redo that Palkia. How many resets did I get onto that second Palkia? 2,900. God, that sucks. Yeah, I need to also finish that Palkia hunt again. Yeah, it must have done, Greg. Yeah, it must have done. It's not like, you know, there's a VOD or something you can just scroll through and check. That reminds me, I need to box that Staraptor away for all eternity whenever I do get that shiny Palkia again. He is never seeing the light of day again. After I get the Palkia, he's just living in the PC. I refuse to let him out. There is lore behind it, but I don't want to share it. I'm gonna keep it quiet. If I'm lucky, no one else remembers. I can't free him because he's technically not in the box yet. He's still in the party because I'm still stuck on Mount Coronet. I don't want to share the lore because it's embarrassing to say. And if no one else remembers, then that's really good for me. It means no one will know. Oh, so tomorrow there's no stream. Wednesday, I might just do this for this week on stream. What do you reckon? 300 today, 300 tomorrow, 300. Oh God, I'd only be at like 1,000 by the end of the week. Part of me feels bad that that's kind of all I'll be doing, considering it's literally just this for like 6 hours. But then also part of me is like, if people want to see me just do this, then who am I to deny people that? Honestly, Greg, I'd be surprised if you remembered what happened. Finally today, I mean, that's the dream, Matty. That is the dream. I mean, to be fair, we have about 45 minutes left, so it would be nice to get it today. I'm not denying that. However, given my luck with these starters, I'm not due to get it until probably 9,000 resets in. I mean, if I can average about 100 an hour, then it means it's only going to take me about 800 hours. No, 80 hours to get the starter. Well, 80 hours to get to odds. Which, again, streaming 3 hours each time I stream, or hunting for 3 hours every night, is going to take me a little bit while longer. Yeah, 80k would be insane. I'm sure Rowlet is probably sitting at around 80k. What was the longest reset? I think the longest reset that I'm aware of is like 70-odd thousand, right? 76,000, 71,000? Who was it who was hunting? Someone was hunting a Reggie. And I can't remember who it was. But so I know I can vaguely remember hearing about that hunt. And it was like 76,000 or something like that resets. Oh, yeah, that's the thing, Greg, isn't it? I mean, my bet's on the games, in all honesty. I'm in negative Nancy when it comes to this stuff. I get the idea of being positive. However, my luck is never been that good. My luck in a lot of stuff has never been that good. Now, typically what I find is I have one really lucky hunt and then one hunt that goes on for a really, really long time. The perfect example of that is I did Shaman in Platinum, and Shaman went over odds. And then literally after Shaman, I did Darkrai, and Darkrai was incredibly under odds. So my luck flip-flops. So, and I think before that, I was doing Rowlet, and Rowlet was a really long hunt. And then I was doing something else before Shaman, and that was a quick hunt. So my hunt record, I think, is long, quick, long, quick. It's just whether or not Squirtle falls on a long one or a quick one. And I mean, if I was a betting person, I would probably bet on it being a longer one. Oh, no, I didn't want that collection. I didn't buy it, so... Oh, don't get me wrong. I normally get the shiny that I'm hunting because I typically don't stop until I get it. Apart from Rowlet. Rowlet is dead and buried until I get bored enough one weekend and I start it up again. Although I think at this point, if I was going to do Rowlet again, I literally think I would end up RNG manipulating it, so then I would definitely get the shiny Rowlet. Not none of this, maybe, maybe not. I would ensure that I would get it. No nickname. Wordle. Doesn't need a nickname. She doesn't need a nickname. Problem is, Greg, is I can't turbo through it. It's like a minute and a half a reset, and I've done 10,000 resets. Could you imagine spending that much time on it? Granted, I have delisted all of the streams because it's just ridiculous how much. Again, it's just like a lot of the streams on the channel is just like, oh yeah, by the way, it would have just been like 90% Rowlet streams. not the best look. That's true. You did watch a lot of them. And I might get back around to doing it someday. But today is definitely, well, recently is definitely not this day. So yeah, it's definitely a sore spot. However, that's not to say that I'm done with it forever. I'm just done with it for right now. At least until I can burn the game cartridge. And then buy a new game cartridge and then go through it all over again. Now, the other thing that was announced on Pokemon Day that I might be picking up, and I say picking up, I might be getting the upgraded Nintendo Switch Online for Pokemon Gale of Darkness. Because I believe you can also shiny hunt in that game. And I was thinking of getting it on for my GameCubes. However, if I can get it on the Switch, I might as well get it on the Switch. Although, arguably, if I was to get it on the GameCubes, I could quad hunt it, whereas on the Switch, I can only hunt it one at a time. That is a minor problem. Okay, here's a question then. The question. What are people's predictions for the gender of the shiny? Obviously, I think most people will probably say male, because obviously these games are much heavier swayed towards the male gender being a higher probability than the female gender. However, I would like to think I would end up with a female one. That's my guess. I've never actually played it either, Greg. I never played it. I just know that one point in time you could get shiny Pokemon on it, and you can basically transfer them through every single game possible. Which, if Gale of Darkness somehow receives home support, that would be pretty. I don't think it will, but it is. You know, it's not the end of the world. No Squirtle. New nickname. What are we at? 250? Ooh, we might be able to get the 300 today. 300 today would definitely be a sweet goal to get to. Definitely don't think I'm going to push for... I definitely don't think I'm going to push for more than 300. I think 300 will be a good point to end. The only thing would be if I can do 300 tomorrow, not on stream, and come Wednesday, we'll be at 900. If it was Friday, I would say, oh, we'd push to 1,000, but no, can't do that. Maybe we'll push for 1,500 on Friday. Yeah, oh, don't worry, Ollie. Everyone's getting banned. Everyone will be. I knew you were going to say that, Greg. I know you love disagreeing with me. It's like your second most favorite thing to do other than reminding me that I don't get shinies. Which I'm pretty sure is your most favorite thing to do. Also, thank you everyone for the subs today. I've just looked and it has gone, well, much more mental in comparison to what it has been going. So thank you very much everyone for subscribing. It is not needed, but, you know, greatly appreciated. Means you can watch the insanity progress in real time as I slowly lose my mind more and more from shiny hunting starters. Who knows? By the end of this week, we might even hit 1,800 subs. Which would be insane, considering... Oh no, technically I hit 1,800 in December. Yeah, over Christmas. But then since then, we've gone back down. Ooh, female. The other thing I was thinking of starting to do, but again, at the end of the day, it doesn't really make a massive difference to me. But obviously, I know a lot of other streamers do it that stream on YouTube, is obviously like goals. But again, you know, I don't think I can see that here, can I? Oh no, I can. 8. Well, that's not bad. Although arguably, when you compare it to the number of views the stream's gotten, not the best. Oh, 9. That's not the best average. But at the end of the day, all it does is help push the stream out to more people. In all honesty, I think that's all it does. Which, again, you know, is a good way to support any creator, not just me. If you enjoy any stream, liking it will help push it out to more people. Especially if, you know, you don't want to join memberships, or if, you know, you don't want to, or if you're running ad blockers. I don't care. You do you. But, you know, it's a good way to help streamers. Any streamers, any content creators on YouTube, I think, are all... everyone seems to bang on about leaving likes and subscribing. Arguably, I don't, in my personal opinion, I don't think subscribing does as much for a channel as liking. In my personal opinion. Because, again, subscribing is just an inflated number. Whereas, you know, people come and go. So subscribing kind of, in my opinion, doesn't make as much of a difference as, you know, liking the stream. If you're enjoying it, obviously. And there's no point liking a stream that you are not enjoying. Or, you know, just listen to Greg. You can also do that. If you can't tell, Greg is trying his hardest to become a mod. He keeps begging for it, you know. So, you know, we try to, you know, try to make him feel, you know, important and needed around here. So, but keep in mind, he has absolutely no power. So if he tells you off, not the end of the world. Yeah, dislike the stream. Leave mean comments. Oh, I beg to differ, Sacred. It makes me feel double insane. I struggle with it. I very much don't like having shiny hunting on while I was shiny hunting. I did During the time I was shiny hunting for Sinnoh starters, BDSP, I was watching alongside other streamers hunting it. Couldn't bear it. 40 hours in on Charmander? Goodness gracious me. What's that reset wise? That's got to be close to 1,000? 1,300? If my math is anywhere near correct. Because you can see how much better everyone else is doing in comparison to you. I mean, don't get me wrong, that is technically true, but still. Did I count that up? I did, didn't I? I'm going to say yes. Not press the wrong buttons. $40. What would that be? 10... 30 hours for 3,000. So it's got to be over half odds. What, like 5,000 resets? Again, 100 every hour. So 40 hours would be about 4,000 resets. See, I can math sometimes. Ooh, I also really do like the music. Call me old-fashioned. Although saying that, I will definitely not be buying the mini GameCube music thing that they're outputting. I'm old-fashioned? Yes, I am old-fashioned. Average if on track is 180 per hour? Oh god, I'm well off then. I blame Greg. It's Greg's fault that I'm slow. No, I mustn't be too far off of that pace. Where was I 33 minutes ago? Okay, maybe no, maybe I am a bit off that pace. To be fair, I've also been doing Googling during the stream, so it's not, you know. I was slow to start, so I'm going to blame that on that. I also keep pressing the wrong button every so often, so I keep end up in the naming screen. Yeah. I don't know if I'm old-fashioned or if Pokemon music just back in the day was just so much better. You know, in my opinion, it was better music. I hate to say it. I think older school Pokemon just had better music. I think doing recent ones with celebrities just isn't it for me. 190 per hour if you focus constantly. Oof, 180 per hour for focus. Okay. So... Oh god, really? That seems insane though. Oh no, I just think the older music, in my opinion, is better. So for me, that's going up to like... maybe up to a Lola, I think is, in my opinion, the best music in Pokemon. It's kind of that era. I don't think I have very fond memories of a lot post-Alola. I mean, we'll see how many resets I can do tomorrow when I'm just focused strictly on resetting. Oh yeah, the music is one of the best things through all Pokemon games. I don't think anyone is denying that at all. Planning on hunting a full team? At the moment, yes. However, we'll see how insane I get doing that. Ooh, a female one. But we'll see how I go. And I rotate through the tracks often. I don't play with in-game music on. That's my problem with that, is I've never really experienced the music. But no, I hope everyone who is doing shiny hunting are getting lucky with their hunts. We're all getting good luck. Favorite song in Pokemon? Ooh. I really like a lot of the battle music. Yeah. I was thinking of going Paris. I think personally I like Scyther for doing that. Obviously, Balloon would be my main choice, but obviously he's not in the game, so you know, can't really use him. Yeah, it's tough to try and decide what the plan is team-wise, you know? I haven't really... I really do need to think about a catching Pokemon. Because I really do need to plan for catching, you know, Mewtwo, Shiny Ho-Oh, Shiny Lugia, all the dogs as well. Well, Ryoku just in this save, but I'm going to have just a Pokemon that I can just transfer to the other games for catching stuff. Still hunt Paris because you get Spore, and I'm thinking Alakazam. Ooh. Yeah, that could work. That's a smart choice, Sacred, actually. That is a big brain play. That works. That works. Yeah. No Jacket, of course I haven't got Rowlet. At this point, I'm just going to put Rowlet as a banned word on the channel. I say there's nothing wrong with catching shinies in any kind of balls, but yeah, definitely need to. I think, me personally, for the legendaries and things like that, I would much prefer to get them in Premier Balls. Because I do like the Premier Balls. The problem is, Greg, is I haven't done any new hunts. Like, it's not hard to see if I've been hunting it, because if I had been, I would be streaming it. And every time I get asked, I say the same thing. If I was to get it, I would make it explicitly clear that I had gotten it. Because it has been my longest hunt ever. So, if I haven't put out anything saying I've got it, I haven't got it. Like, it's as simple as that. It's just, in my opinion, now, it's just incredibly annoying to have to keep being like, nope, still haven't got it, but I haven't also hunted from it. Yeah, that's the problem. So yeah, it's going to have to be Pokeballs. To be fair, I'm also thinking of, at some point, shiny hunting the Game Corner shinies as well. Because I just think it'd be really cool to get. The problem is, Jacket, is that it is random. Just because others got their shiny quickly doesn't mean I'm going to. Again, unfortunately, that it is random. Also, am I remembering correctly Hold up. No, that's fine. That's not who I thought it was. Is it... There was someone who, for a while, was doing Pokemon Shiny content. Then they've stopped doing it. And then they started redoing Pokemon content again relatively recently. And I'm like, didn't you stop doing Pokemon content for like a few years to focus on making a game? And then they've come back to Pokemon. I don't remember who it was though. I done Abra in the game corner. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Abra. I want to do Dratini. I like the idea of doing Porygon. It's just going to be an absolute pain. But I want to do all of them. I can't remember their name. But I was like, I'm sure they stopped doing Pokemon content altogether. And I was like, oh, okay. And they were doing other games and whatnot. And then something popped up relatively recently. And it was the channel. And I was like, oh. And it was Pokemon content. And I was like, oh, they're doing Pokemon content again? Well, they stopped doing this like ages ago. I don't remember the channel name, but I vaguely remember them being like a big-ish Pokemon channel. I say big-ish, like over 1 million subs. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because again, being nosy as I am, I was like looking at the views that the videos were getting, and I'm like, that seems like a lot less than I would have expected for a channel of that size. Again, you can blame the algorithm, but you could also blame, a lot of other stuff. YouTube is a magical beast like that. You never know what's going to do half decently versus what's not. It's like this stream. I did not think this stream was going to get as many views that it has gotten for what it is. So I'm not going to complain, but you can never tell what's going to do good or not. Because I can guarantee you, when I stream this on Wednesday, it's not going to nearly get the views that this one's gotten. I think I can pretty much say that with good confidence. Hey, Enforcer, it's going good. How are you doing? Hope you had a good weekend. By the way, just a side thing, because I just want to brag about it. Oh, 11 likes now. I think this is the first stream, maybe, that's hit double-digit likes when I've been live. Oh, you can't. Why on earth can you not sort streams via likes? That's silly. Was randomly recommended. That's what I think it's been like today. But I'm also very intrigued. Was it on people who are new around here? Love having you. Welcome in. I'm very intrigued if it was what grabbed you about the stream. Was it the thumbnail? Because I mean the title's just a simple title. But I was very intrigued as to I'm very intrigued as to kind of like, yeah, I love the title. And I'm like, yeah, oh, it's just like saying what I'm doing, or if it was just like the thumbnail really stuck out. Again, if you don't want to share, it doesn't matter. But I'm a little bit intrigued. Also, I stand corrected. Rowlet Day 72, I think, has the most likes. Which is 28. Yeah, that shows you how long I was shiny hunting Rowlet for. Yeah, that's insane. Hour-wise, I think it was... Yeah, day 72. Yeah, exactly. It was like 3 hours a stream. So 3 times 72 gives you an idea of how long I was hunting for that. Oh, nice, Enforcer. Well, I hope your I hope studying goes well. Joined because you was hunting and wanted something to listen to. That's absolutely fine, Sacred. I appreciate you being here. But yeah, again, I don't care what people do. You can be here for the first time, and it can be your last time here. I appreciate you stopping by. If we never cross paths again, thanks very much for stopping by. If you decide you like the vibe and you want to hang out more when I do drive myself insane shiny hunting, feel free to subscribe, you know? Not gonna hold a gun to your head and make you do it, so... Oh, good luck. Venusaur. I hope your hunt goes well. Over 200. Yeah, I'm going to say, I think at this point, I mean, obviously, I know how many resets I've done because I've been counting. And I'm at 10,000 on Rowlet. So, I think the math last we did it was like a minute and a half a reset. And obviously I've done 10,000 of them. So anyone who's good at math can probably figure out the amount of time I've spent on it. I hope so, OMG. I hope so. We'll get it eventually. You're on the original game? Oh, nice. I have the games on GB. My problem is I have them in Japanese, not in English. Ducks. Yeah, Enforcer, don't worry. I am in on all of the know-hows before starting this. 216 hours. Is that really it? That seems so little in comparison. I think a lot of people like Nidoking Enforcer. You can't go wrong with it, but I would say try and go off the beaten path. Everyone goes with Nidoking, Dragonite, Arcanine, things like that. I would say, or Ninetales, if you're on Leaf Green. Try and go different. Try and be different to other people. Go Nidoqueen instead. Or the more incomplete box with a guidebook for each. Nice. Oh, you can't go wrong with that. You can really not go wrong with that. I feel like, is that the 3 times 72 Sacred? I'm going to say, the days definitely, it got to the point where I stopped counting days. Originally, I was putting the day in the title. I think I stopped doing that for a while. Yes. They are Enforcer. They're not in the... Obviously, they're not in the GB games. I think you can maybe get them, but yeah, afterwards you can't. I'm going to say someone speed ran the game in like 2.5 hours of it being out, so it is definitely possible to do it. How to download that game? Mr. Chirita. Just on the Nintendo eShop. How to download in PC? Don't know. I unfortunately don't have the idea. Yeah, 70 times through. Yeah, so that was at 216 hours, and I think that was at... I mean, I can double check because I can just open up the video, the VOD. How many resets that was. So I ended... Oh, that was at 5,000. That was 5,000 hours in. So yeah, double that. So yeah, that's how much time I spent on Rowlet. I'm sure there are YouTube videos on it, Mr. Chitra. I unfortunately don't know how to do it for PC, so you're better off looking on YouTube if you want to figure that out. I'm afraid I cannot help you there. I mean, to be fair, you know, to speedrun the game in less than a few hours, definitely glitches are obviously going to be a big part of it, right? Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's part of the reason I bought the games on the Switch 2 is because 1, the events, 2 is home support. If they didn't do the events, I was going to avoid buying it. However, because they done the events, I was very much a case of I needed to buy it. Oh, goodness. I cannot remember. I don't think I've ever really played Leaf Green. Or if I have, I've played it in Japanese, and I've only been in the Safari Zone because that's all I did in my copies. Because I'm bad with it. Oh, yeah. I don't think I've never, during a run, come across a random shiny. I think the first one for me that I can remember was... It was, funnily enough, Legends Arceus was the first one where I got my first random encounter shiny just playing through the game. And I'd been playing all of the games since Platinum. But keep in mind, I used to just run through the main story and then leave the games. I only really started shiny hunting during Legends Arceus. Yeah, I know. I've noticed that. Vague. I just keep pressing A because I'm just spamming it. Half the time I do it. The other half of the time I don't. Oh, wrong button. That's not bad, Venusaur. Getting full odds shinies is nice. I like it. Getting full odds shiny under odds, I'm happiest with. We're at a 350 today. I'm already halfway through 300. Wow. I'm already halfway through. Yeah, I'm pretty much halfway there. Oh, nice, Enforcer. Hopefully you find it. I mean, to be fair, a dead battery is an easy enough thing to replace. I've done it on a few games now. I've done it on an original GB. I've done it on a couple of Game Boy Advance games. Nice and easy. If you close the game, do you not need to restart a counter at 0? Oh, no, because it's number of checks. So because the counter is just for the number of checks that I've done. Because it's a random each time you restart the game, it's just I'm just counting how many checks I've done. Yellow shiny lizard. That was the other thing I saw, was a lot of people were like, turbo controllers are the way to go. I've never had one. Are they good? I've seen people like talk about them. I'm just using the Switch 2 Pro controller. I know you can program certain things into the controllers, but it's just I've just never used one. It's okay. Okay, oh my god. I'm gonna say, I mean, I think most people just count the number of checks that they've done. So if you go to any shiny hunting stream, that's kind of the norm, is how to count up, is counting up via how many checks you've done, not instead of, you know, the odds. Otherwise, every check would every hunt would be, you know, of 1. I mean, I'll have a look into it. I mean, I've got a little bit of work tomorrow, I think, but when I'm not working, maybe I'll have a look and see if I can figure some stuff out. Hey, Violet Caitlin, how are you doing? Welcome in. Your weekend was good. Your Monday's going well. Oh yeah, no, it's from what I understand, you can it's basically like a macro. You can record key presses, and then it will just do that for you, which both has benefits and downsides. What am I going to name the shiny? Unfortunately, you can't name the shinies in this. I think I'm just going to leave it as Squirtle. I don't think you can nickname until after... Is it Lavender Town you can start nicknaming Pokemon? So we've got plenty of time to decide on it. Yeah, I know there's a guy you can rename them with, but I don't think it's until much later on in the game, if I'm remembering correctly. It would definitely increase the reset time if I had to nickname it every single time. I was thinking of naming it Greg, but yeah, Kyle also works. You know, as a thank you. Yeah, Lavender Town. That's also the one with the tower, the ghost tower, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't know what self-respecting adult would name themselves Greg. I just very much struggle to come up with nicknames. I might Sacred. I was thinking of maybe going with Aerodactyl. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm again, a lot of it might be after I complete the main game. We'll see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you just leave it on auto spam A, they all become ah. I've done that before. It's just so easy. I'm kind of using audio cues, so when I hear this, I know to swap from spamming A to spamming B. And then you hear it the second time, then you go into the menu. But sometimes I just don't listen to the audio cue, and then I'm just spamming A through the through the naming thing, and I'm like, gotta control myself. So you get it, and then you spam to B. Oh, I'll probably grab Helix. Like, you can't not grab Lord Helix. However, I will probably not actively get it immediately. Oh, don't worry, Enforcer, I'm the same. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it works, doesn't it? Venusaur. Oh, it is 100% a thing. Yeah, you can quite easily just like I've been in autopilot mode before, and I've not reset over a starter, but I've been to the point where I've been panicking, going, did I reset over a starter by accident? It is 100% a fear of mine. Yeah, Lord Helix. Lord and Savior, Lord Helix. We're getting there. That's the main thing. We are actively getting there on the resets. However, I am thinking it's less and less likely to arrive today, which is fine. I'm just hoping it doesn't happen tomorrow. I just hope I don't get an off-stream shiny. Or who knows, if I'm feeling bored enough tomorrow, I might just end up streaming anyway. Alright, Enforcer. Thank you very much for stopping by. Good luck on your studying. Hopefully it goes well for you. Oh no, just shiny only, I think, is the plan. Definitely not a Nuzlocke Venusaur, no. Shiny only, at least for right now, I'm thinking shiny only. Give me a week and we'll see how insane I'm feeling. And the only problem with working full time is sometimes I come home and I'm just like, I don't want a shiny ad. Yeah, the many forms sucks because, you know, you kind of got to get them all, right? Got to get all of them. Milcery and Alcremie. I did, there was the event in Paldea where I got enough to do each of the individual swirls of Milcery. Again, it's not awful. Again, 3 hours a night is a lot. You know, when you work. Again, I'm awake for maybe an hour before I head into work. And during that time, I got to eat and sort myself out. And then I'm home for an hour and a half, and then I'm streaming for 3 hours. And then I'm sleeping the rest of the time. Basically, I'm squeezing in as much hunting as possible when I can. That being said, for the summer, my goal is to get up, and I say it's a goal because I don't think it's going to happen. My goal is to get up at 5, so I normally get up about 7. So I'll be getting up 2 hours earlier. And then going for a run. So... I can't stream on... I imagine that's Twitch. You know, I can't stand Twitch. I used to watch, like, all my stuff on Twitch. And then the ads just have just been so bad lately. It just, like... It's just... Oh, TikTok. I would say that might be a bit better than Twitch. Twitch I can't stand. When's it called for bacon and pastry? Ooh, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, Enforcer. There is nothing wrong with enjoying food. All right, we're on the last 10. Well, after this one. Don't even have an auto counter. I don't have an auto counter. It's an app that I press every time. Yoink. The one I use is literally just called Death Counter. It's just an app that you can get, but obviously I don't know if you can do it. You know, if you're doing it through mobile or anything like that, I don't know how the best way to do that is. Oh, Poke Counter. Nice. Looking at the speed of the GBA and the Switch, it's the same because we hunt the same Pokemon. The only thing is faster when you press B for the nickname. I don't know why, but you... Oh, really? It's interesting. Oh, my text is on fast. I don't know if that's a thing. OMG. All right, Enforcer, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good rest of your week. Hopefully see you again soon. Yeah, I upped my text speed to fast. It was on mid, but then I upped it. Oh, it is the same for you. Oh, interesting. Very, very interesting. So if I'm lucky, tomorrow I might be able to get to 800 resets, and then we can break the 1,000 on stream on Wednesday. Maybe. Maybe. We shall see. Yeah, I've never streamed on any... Well, I have occasionally streamed on Twitch, but I typically don't stream on any other platform other than YouTube. I was originally going to start on both, but again, I'm just not a fan of Twitch's practice for ads. And TikTok, no problem if you use it. But content creators on TikTok are getting paid less and less and less as the platform obviously is growing bigger and bigger, which to a degree makes sense, but it's not enticing. It's not making me want to like hop on the platform and start streaming on the platform. I mean, obviously, in this day and age, in theory, everyone streams on everything all simultaneously, but I just can't be bothered. I have enough hassle. I have enough trouble keeping up with one chat. I don't like the idea of keeping up with 7 because I stream on every other platform. But yeah, maybe Friday we'll go for a really long run and we'll see. try and get like 500 done in a night or something. We'll see. I've got to find out what the plan is for the rest of the week. I don't think I have any family events happening this weekend. No. I do on the weekend, but obviously now I don't stream on the weekend, so that is fine. Right, well, we got 3 left. 3 left, and then that is me done for today. I really need some sleep. Do people get the shot? Yeah, some people just are so lucky. I, unfortunately, am not one of those. I personally don't think I'm going to get it under odds. Because that's just, that's how my luck goes, unfortunately. So, we shall see. Oh god, yeah. Some hunts go really long. Some people get lucky, other people don't. And unfortunately for me, I seem to be on the not lucky side. Right, let's have a look. Last one. Not shiny. That's fine. We'll go back to title. Alrighty. That is me done. For today. I'm quite happy. We got a good amount done at the start. It was a good stream. Oh, but I am 110% now ready for a good bit of sleep. So if I happen to get it off stream tomorrow, I will be posting it in the Discord. A community post about it as well, and also probably then start the next stream showing the footage of me getting it, because I will be recording it anyway. So I will also have that. So that is that. Thank you very much for watching today, everyone. I hope you will have an amazing couple of days. I will be back on Wednesday for more. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you then. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Have a good rest of your day. Good luck with your hunts. Feel free to come back and brag to me if you get them before me, which is entirely possible. Either way, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.